So, hi, this is Marsha Rose coming at you with another girl talk. Yes. Me. What are the odds I want to talk? I always want to talk, okay? But yeah, so this girl talk is kind of intense. So there's that. I'm actually going to talk to you guys today about my coming out story to my Christian Jamaican parents. It was a struggle. It was hard. But anyways, before I get into this story, I would like for you guys to like and subscribe to my channel, okay? Please hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bells so you guys can know when I have a new video up. But let's get into it. Okay, but yeah. I don't know why I'm so happy. I think I had a good day, but I'm having a good day so far, so that's why I'm so happy. But the story isn't even a happy story, so yeah. Okay. It was, first of all, very interesting. My parents, like I said before in my videos, my mom's a pastor, my dad's a deacon, and they're also Jamaican. So with me, I think it was 2006 when I started dating my first girlfriend. And at the time when I first started dating her, I wasn't really taking it seriously because I was one of those people that, raised in a Christian home. So therefore, this was just a play thing, just something that I was just like playing with, nothing that I was going to take seriously. But I ended up starting to really fall for the woman that I was with at that point. So now I'm stuck, I'm stuck. I'm in this lifestyle. I'm enjoying this lifestyle. So now I'm going to, just keep it up. So at that time, I was living alone. And so I had my own place. I had my own car. I was working a good job. And I met this woman or whatever. And so the place that I was living in, it had like a lot of my, the people from my parents' church, people who knew my parents basically lived in that apartment building. So every time my partner at that time was coming in and out, they would see. And she was like a stud at that time. So they were noticing that it wasn't just no regular friend that I had. It was somebody that was more than that. But yeah, so at that time I honestly didn't care about them. The most thing I cared about was my parents and them finding everything out. So when I got so once it started getting like, really official and stuff like that, I would go back and forth to her house. I was staying at her house for a little bit. But the only reason why I was staying at her house at that time was because I had gotten a new job. My car started getting messed up, and the job that I had was closer to her house. So it was an easier commute to go from her house, to take the bus to go from her house to my job at that time. And that job that I was working at, my mom was actually working there as well. Sometimes she was working there. It wasn't her permanent job, but if they call her in, she will go. Whatever. Boom. So there was one day when they needed some extra people. So they called my mom. My mom was working there, and then she called me so I can pick up some hours for there as well. So at the time when she called me, I was still at my partner's house. So She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna come pick you up. Where are you?" So I told her where I was, and she came and got me. She did kind of look like whose house is she, no she I think she did ask me who house it was, and I told her, no, this just this girl, this woman, I'm just my friend, and she looked side-eyed me, and but she didn't say anything else. So then I went to work or whatever, blah 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 blah, and then she brings me back home, back to my partner's house at that time. So I'm there with my partner chilling. I'm telling her the story and telling her that my mom asked whose house it is, whatever. That's that. The next day now, my mom randomly calls me. So I'm nervous now because I'm feeling like, probably she's going to call me to ask me about this individual and what's going on. And that is exactly what happened. So she called me. I answered the phone. She was like, I have something to ask you. And I was like, what is it that you have to ask me? And then she was like, is that person, that house you are, that I picked you up from, is that like somebody that you're in a relationship with? And I was like, yes, mommy. I can feel her heart drop. And right now, like the things that I'm going to say that she says, her and I have worked it out. That was years ago. So what I'm going to say right now, I don't want you guys to take any offense and think that my mom's this evil person or this mean person or whatever. The way she reacted was off of emotions. Anger is the easiest emotion to express. So at that point she was angry, so she didn't react in a way that was comforting to me, because as a pastor, she ain't gonna react like, oh really, you're gay, I'm happy that you're happy. No, she did not respond back like that. She went in on me. Like the way she went in on me, I thought I was got out there on the street. I didn't really feel like I was her daughter. I was shocked, the things that she said. And it really hurt me at that time, but I still had to understand, because with my parents being religious, what else was I expecting? Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything else. So she was going in, she was saying all of these things. One thing that she really, like, I blacked out a lot of times when she was saying what she was saying. I didn't actually get to say a word. I blacked out a lot through the whole thing. But there was one thing that she said that really stuck with me. It was that you're gonna get a disease. And I feel like that part hurt me the most. I don't even know if she even still remember it. If I was to ask her right now, I doubt she remember that she said that to me. But yeah, she did say that you're gonna get a disease, being in this lifestyle and whatever. But I feel like at that point, that was when back then it was like they were calling AIDS the gay disease. So it was an automatic, if you gay, you get the disease. But and yet that was not okay. But like I'm saying, you got the old school religious parents and Jamaican. Put those two things together, being gay, ain't it? So that was quite intense. It was a lot. It was a lot when I got that call. And then she just, like, after she did all her rant, she just hung up on me. Boom. Done. So I'm thinking that it's over. I go to my girlfriend at the time and I'm just like crying to her and telling her what happened. She was actually sitting right there the whole time. So when she looked at my face and seen my reaction, she was like, her eyes got really, really bright. And so then I just started crying, and she was there. She consoled me. She did what a partner is supposed to do, console their partner in their time of need. And she was really a great support system at that time when I was going through that emotional stage. And then I thought that it was over. I thought that it was done. I thought they got everything out. I knew that I wasn't going to be talking to them for a while because they was not with this shit. So then the next day, I'm sitting in the house just chilling, and all of a sudden I hear a tow truck. At this point, my car was stuck at my ex's house because, like I said, it wasn't working. The transmission was messed up, and it wasn't working. My parents had actually got me that car, so me hearing the tow truck, I'm like, why is there a tow truck here? So I'm looking outside, and I'm like, I see the guy and I see him coming to tow my car. And so I go downstairs and I ask him, like, why are you towing this car? He said the owners of this car said that they want this car and that to take this car. So I'm looking like, you really is that controlling that you will take a car that don't even work? That car didn't even work. But they took the car and brought it to their house. So I called my father because, like, my father was the one whose name that was on the what is it called, the registration. Yes, my dad's name was on the registry. So I called him, and this point now he raging at me. My father didn't. He's like, I'm not. You're gay. I don't want you to have this car and da 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 whatever, and just saying whatever. So that was like another hard job for me. And I was like, yo, you guys are just like literally like really giving up on me because I at that point was a happily gay lesbian woman, and you guys just like literally turned your back on me because of it. And it was just like a really emotional time for me. And my ex, she held me. She freaking consoled me. She made me feel better. After that, a few months after that, I got another car, a car that was actually working. So, like, I feel like they thought that it was going to defeat me, or they thought that if they do this and I was going to change into being this person that's not a lesbian just to please them. But they know me better than that. Growing up, I have always been like a rebel. My parents always try to control me with different things and telling me, if you don't do this, you won't get that. But I was always able to find a way to get what I got. Basically, God was always blessing me. Even because God always had a purpose for me. So he was not going to let me fall too hard. I fell hard a few times, but I never fell so hard that I was never able to get back up. I've got back up every single time that I have fell. And that it basically is all that happened with my coming out story. It was hard. It was intense. Now my parents are still like that. It's been 15, 16 years now. Yeah, it's been a few years since I've been openly lesbian. In the beginning, my mom was always sending me messages. She was saying, why are you doing this to me? What did I do to you? Hearing that was hard for me, but still it wasn't hard for me enough to change from loving who I loved. Like my first two girlfriends, she didn't really try to get to know any of them. My father tried, even though he would have his little side conversations about it, but he tried, but I feel like he didn't. He still was on the fact that I want my daughter to be with a man. At this point, it was like with any man. It didn't even matter if he was good or not, as long as it was a man. But I was just like, I'm not doing it to please y'all, And my partner now, my mom actually did embrace her and did accept her, so that made me feel like, okay, you know what, my mom's starting to get the hang that I am a lesbian and I love who I love, but it doesn't change who I am. And we're working on it. I'm just going to say we're working on it. But I just had to leave my 2 cents here. anyone of y'all, I don't know if you're older, if you're younger, if you're a person who likes to please their parents and things like that. It's hard. It's never easy for you to be who you are when you have parents that you know that won't accept who you are. Like, I had the hardest time accepting who I was because I didn't want to hurt my parents. But once I started to accept who I was and embrace who I was, it felt so good. And then when your parents start to see, sometimes if your parents love you and they start to see that you are happy, they will they'll probably try to adjust to it and be better, like be more accepting, like be more loving or whatever, or nurturing or whatever, but it's not always going to happen. So I'm not going to say like it's always going to happen that they're going to accept, because there's so many people that I know and I've read stories about that has not, up to this day, their parents still has not accepted. There's some of them don't even talk to them, and it is sad. I'm happy that my parents at least still talk to me. Yes, they don't accept my lifestyle. Yes, they won't be around. I don't even know if they'll be at my wedding, but I'm still getting married. I don't even know if they'll be at my wedding. I'm still going to make sure I give them an invitation and everything, but they cannot change me. They cannot change you. Don't think that you gotta be this person for them and to please them, because in all actuality, your life is yours to live. And all the people that saying God don't like this, God don't like that, God made you for a reason. Work on your relationship that you have with God, not on the relationship that you got with your parents, because in all actuality, the person that you should be pleasing is God. That's the only one that you should be pleasing is God. And your parents are human, thank God. So they not about to accept something that to them they don't want to accept. But anyways, that's all I have to say today, y'all. And like I said earlier in the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Marsha Rose is out. Bye, y'all.